Okay, we're back. Now, what we're going to do next is we're just going to round these off a little bit, take the tips off a little bit of these. And the one thing we're going to do is, because we don't want that really pointed, alright, we're going to take our pencil and we're going to go up a little ways. Now this has to be a little more distinct right here, so let's put a little cut over the top here. We're going to cut this out in just a second. Alright, we're just going to kind of work towards that a little bit on both sides. We're going to go from here underneath and we're just going to sweep it upward. Alright. Alright. Should give you a little bit of a distinction there. We're going to take we're going to curve it. See how we have it curved on either side? Now we're going to go on this one and it's curved the opposite way because this one is underneath this one. Okay? Actually, these two out. Let me clean this up because you don't want any marks on it. For the reason is when you go to paint this thing, whenever you have rough marks anywhere, it gets really dark, especially if you don't seal the wood. I really don't seal the small stuff, especially if I know, you know. Usually I do with the Santas. Here of late I've done it that way, but you can seal it before you paint it. It's not a bad idea either. Okay, so we have this one is the top one, these two go underneath, and this one is also the top one. So let's curve this one out. It's still rough there. Let me cut that off. I'm not happy with that. Okay, just like so. Alright, what we're going to do is take your knife and you're going to follow that line. Alright, and I'm sorry, let me see, yeah, you're going to follow that line and you're going to undercut. Alright, and alright, just like so. Alright, and then we're going to do the top one. You have to just be mindful what goes underneath what. It does help. You know, if you make a mistake, these are nice and small, you just start over again. Okay. Very good. So we're just going to round these up just a tad. I'm just going to go back over these a little bit. Get any of the rough stuff off. And I'll show you how to put these lines in a little bit later. A very simple method of doing so. Alright, so that's our top. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to round off the bottom. And take off those corners. Okay. This is my favorite way of carving, is this way. It's much safer. You let your thumb actually do the pushing where it has to be extra a little bit, you know, here and there. And the thumb really pushes the blade through the wood. As a new beginner, it will seem odd to you to do it this way, but trust me, once you get used to this method, it is so, it comes so naturally to me to flip things over, you know, do one side or the other. It's not a huge deal. I'm going to clean this up down here and get all those marks off. Okay. Alright. And then we're going to go back up this way. And then you want to be careful you don't chop anything off. Okay. Kind of take your time rounding this off. Now if the grain feels a little like it tugs, flip it and go the other way. Alright. I'm going to try to get these a little bit more rounded than what I've done on the last couple of them. And you know, you can make different sizes. All you have to do is do the ratio of a real easy way, folks, to enlarge or to make a project smaller and keep the same dimensions or the proportion of the dimensions right. Instead of telling you to go like 1.5 inches to 4 inches long, just lay it on a copying machine. If you go anywhere that has one that can enlarge a photo, and take your block, mark it on a piece of paper, and then go to a copying machine and make it larger or smaller there, and then you'll get the right proportions to it. Okay, so that's your tip for the day. You know, I never thought of telling you folks that before, but that is an easier way than trying to redraw it on your own. Years ago, when they first made printers, and I have one, in fact I have 2 of them now, that I do all my covers for my DVDs and all my extra printing, because I'm an actual, I do an inkjet refilling business, so the ink really doesn't cost me that much at all to refill my own. And that one printer can enlarge and reduce pieces too, and it's super. Some of my patterns that I send to people maybe has 2 or 3 different sizes of the Lucky Ducky or the Ducky's First Plunge. So if you want to do a smaller one or a larger one, I made it available for you through the pattern. And I just did that because I had the ability to do it here, and some people like to make things a little smaller, a little bigger than what I had. So it's whatever, you know, wood you have available too. Alright, so you see up here it's a little bit, it goes underneath a little further, so we're going to work on that a little bit more. I'll be right back.